And once again, the computer asks us, are you sure you want to start streaming? Are you sure?
This is not a good idea.
Nobody really likes you. My own computer hates me. Dio, hey, what's up? Okay, everybody sing together. 3, 4. Doug Space Nine. Doug Space Nine. Whee! Doug Space Nine. Doug Space Nine. Here we go! Hooray! Hello! It's Doug Space Nine time. I'm so excited. Hello, everybody. How are you? Hello,
great.
Doug.
How are you?
I'm good. You're everybody that's here in this room.
All right.
Dio, I hope you were singing out loud wherever you are. I want people to be singing out loud with us, loud enough that we can hear you. That's my goal.
What's that?
That would be so exciting if someday we started streaming and could hear like a neighbor singing with us. It's like, oh my god, somebody's watching the stream outside. That happened to me once, sort of. I was in my own backyard in San Diego, and somebody was listening to my music in a house where I didn't know who they were.
Right. That is weird.
Totally crazy. They listened to my entire album. I was like, what is happening? Life is crazy.
Your stalker is
my neighbor.
Yeah. That's why they bought the house.
Oh my god, that's terrifying. Anyway, welcome to Doug Space Nine. Today we are going to start with one episode, and if we have time, we'll do two, but given how long we tend to talk about things, we'll see how far we get.
Yeah. I may be misremembering, but I feel like this one was not that great.
The Siege?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about Season 2, Episode 3, The Siege, the end of the 3-part opus that begins Season 2, and you thought it wasn't that great.
I think I really liked the last one, and so this one felt like a letdown.
Yeah, because the first two of this 3-parter are really great.
Yeah, and this one just, it felt kind of rushed and just like, well, let's just, now we're going to get the... It's like what I don't like about some of the forced Star Trek ends, but this is like that's like the purpose of the episode, is to end this arc,
Right. What's up? Hey, what's up, Midwest Tempest APOC? What's up, Andy? Greetings, mortals, to you too.
Hello.
Good to see ya. Yeah, that's interesting. I like this episode a lot, but I do feel like it's disappointing.
Yeah.
I feel both. I don't know, but maybe I think, hey, Amanda, what's up? Amanda's here too. This is awesome. Yay, I'm so happy. Yeah, it's tough. I also feel like I have not quite unpacked my feelings about it, and we can do that today as we go through the episode.
Yeah,
but
I might have to look at my notes because I did not do a refresh watch. This is the first time.
We had to reschedule this so many times.
Also, that's the other thing is I think I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah, I watched it twice, but it's been like weeks since I watched it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna pretty much rewatch it anyway as we talk about it. So
yeah, this is what I'm realizing is that when I do. Like right after today, I'll watch the next 2.
Yeah.
And then we'll schedule one of these, and I'll watch it again like the night before.
Right.
So then I'm coming in fresh, and I'm feeling good about it. I'm seeing things in it where I can like process what I thought about it the first time. But then if we reschedule, like, and then
you're fucked.
No, and then we do it, and then I set up for a third, and we don't do it. Now that third watch through is like, oh man, I'm starting to get like burnt out on them. I think
I've seen this too many times.
Oh, you know what? That's not true because I really love the next one.
Invasive Procedures?
Yeah, and that
one weirds me out.
I've watched that one 3 times now as well.
I've watched that twice also, but I like that. Hey, Atalki's here. What's up, Atalki? Yeah, so there's a lot that I really like about this.
Okay.
I love that Deep Space Nine is under siege, and all of our heroes are hiding in crawl spaces in the Jeffries tubes or whatever the Cardassian equivalent.
One of our villains, all of our heroes.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that I really like about it.
Yeah,
but as we get into it, there are some things that just feel like easy choices, I guess, on the part of the writers, where I felt like everything they've been building towards could have gone someplace a little bit more exciting.
Yes. Yeah. What I'm saying to you that I realized recently was...
Oh, we missed you too, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Can you see the chat, Doug? Can I? I might be able to...
I can't read it.
Okay. You can see it, but you can't read it, so I don't know.
Amanda's a blue wrench.
I wonder if I can make the size bigger. I don't think so.
Listen, chat knows by now that I don't pay any attention to them.
I'll pay attention to chat for both of us.
You loop me in. When I look at this is what happens is like you'll go away for a second and then I do this and I'm like,
And then you vamp by staring at chat silently. What was this episode about again? That's a great question. We are going to talk. This is the one where this is the end of the 3-parter, wrapping up what happens with Lee Nallis and the Bajoran revolution that's happening back on Bajor.
The politically, Count Dracula has taken over Bajor, and he has replaced Major Kira, removed Major Kira from the station as a fuck you to Sisko, and now he's also ordering that all non-Bajorans have to leave the station, and I think basically, or they're going to get executed by the Bajoran military.
You know what's really easy? We can watch the previously on. What is this episode about?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. That's what this episode is about.
Yes.
So this episode is about the evacuation of the station and then their recapture of it.
Let's watch the previously on to get everyone caught up who's not caught up. Wait, okay.
Last time on Deep Space Nine.
Boom. That was a good transition.
This is where the banana finger.
They call themselves the Circle.
Well, what gives them the right to mess
They call themselves a circle and they draw this.
They draw a circle.
It's not even a.
I guess it's not a circle.
It's but I do like. I'm also talking over the previously on.
That's okay. This show is very unprofessional.
This is make Bajor great again. Is what they're fighting against.
That is so true. Okay, so they go back to a Cardassian prison camp. They rescue Lee Nallis, who wasn't supposed to be there.
That was the first one of the 3.
Someone who could unite the factions and give us a chance to do our job. But Bajor doesn't need a man. He needs a symbol.
And that's Dracula puts him in charge of the station, but with a new title that they make up.
Dracula being that guy. What's his name? What's the actor's name?
Frank Langella.
Frank Langella. Thank you.
He's great.
Yes.
Not anymore, you don't. Major Kira is no longer assigned to this post. She's been recalled to Bajor.
It's over.
Uh-oh.
Bajor, the provisional government, the Federation being here, all of it. We gotta leave.
The provisional government will stand only if the military supports it.
We are all patriots, Commander.
I am.
Him I really like. I forgot about him.
He's so good.
Betray your own government.
So previously on, everyone gets shot.
Yeah.
The circle's being supplied.
This is a long
by the
previously
Cardassians.
on.
I borrowed the proof. It's got a gull's thumb scan on it.
The Circle hates the Cardassians.
They don't know it is the Cardassians. They think they've been
Yes,
buying
head
from
shaking there.
Kasari traders.
Think of the prestige of having the new leader of Bajor being a member of your order.
These two are so good together.
This is great. This is a good evil complementing
If
evil.
you are the new leader.
Commander, 2 assault vessels are headed this way in direct course from Bajor. They've given all non-Bajorans 7 hours to evacuate.
And now the conclusion.
So
And
now
now
this,
the conclusion.
so there is implied threat of violence against them if they don't leave.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I love this whole arc because of this idea that like the Bajorans have been like subjugated for so long, and they finally have freedom from the Cardassians, and then they invite the Federation in, but a lot of people on the planet don't agree with that decision.
Right.
And like the nationalist movement of Bajor basically starts to gain speed and steam, and it's all coming to a head in this episode.
Right.
So yeah, it's all very exciting.
Yeah, in this very real world, you know, that is the kind of thing that happens with like an occupying force.
Yeah, totally.
Being overthrown, you know, and then the people who were previously subjugated might swing all the way to like, you know what, fuck everyone.
Yeah, which is kind of what's happening.
Yeah.
Amanda says that you best pay attention to her, Doug.
I'll do my best.
Dio, you just started getting into Star Trek. Nice. What are you watching? Which one are you watching? Those two make you want to puke in your mouth?
Oh, because they're evil. I mean, I get it. It's like
I'm puking in your with your mouth closed and then you swallow it. Is that
you don't have to?
It's
You
like
can probably
worse than
spit it out.
normal,
But
isn't
yeah,
it?
I mean, to me, it makes me want to puke in my mouth. It's a level of disgust that's perhaps not like I want to blow my brains out.
Yeah. Okay, so we're at the point where basically the Bajoran military is coming to Deep Space Nine, and anyone who's not a human or anyone who is not Bajoran who's on the station is risking being attacked. For
Probably,
being there.
yeah. I think Sisko
Or arrested, maybe.
Well, but I think Sisko could reasonably assume that Dracula has told his underlings to kill any Starfleet people that are left because they have their, butting of heads. So I think that he would definitely specifically escalate to violence to get at Sisko.
Yeah.
And I think I mean, they shot each other up on the planet. So
Right.
they're definitely past the like, hey, we're going to have to ask you nicely to leave. Like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, buddy. They are definitely at the shooting stage.
Dio says he's watching the original series, so you're starting from the beginning.
It's the only way to do it. Everything else is false Star Trek.
I mean, I'm lifelong Star Trek nerd. Started on Next Generation,
But that's not your fault. You did not know any better. Now,
I will say, if I'd started with the original series, I'm not sure I would have been the lifelong Star Trek nerd that I am now.
but now you are morally obligated to do one full run through, starting with the Cage, watching them all in sequential
I have done
order.
that. I have done
See,
that.
then you're
Yeah.
fine. You're
So
fine.
I'm good.
You've cleared your sin,
Right.
of false
I have.
Trek from your heart.
I have. Although
You followed the one pure path.
Although
once.
the only pure Trek is Next Generation. I'm just kidding. I don't even believe it. I'm just trying to piss you off. DS9 is the best Star Trek series. Yeah, I totally see why people would feel that. For me, they're very close, and
Yeah.
TNG gets the edge because that's what I grew up on, and that's just
Sure.
like in my heart from childhood.
Man, for me, it's Discovery's the best, and then all the '90s Trek,
Yeah.
plus Enterprise ties for second, and then the original series is third.
Okay, for me, it's Next Generation, Deep Space Nine. This is gonna be hard.
See, that's why you have to have a bunch of ties.
Enterprise, Discovery, Season 2,
Love it.
Voyager,
Well, if we're just going by seasons. Then
original series, Discovery Season 1.
if we're just going by seasons, then Enterprise season 4 is better than any Star Trek except perhaps Discovery season 2.
I think Enterprise Season 3 is the best Enterprise season.
No, 4 is way better. 4 is where you get
3, the
you get-
Expanse.
You get the
so good.
augments and
It's all great. I love it all. I
the
love it
Expanse
all.
is great. I mean, it's like Star Trek does weird space. You know what I mean? Like that's as close as anyone's gotten to TOS weirdness.
Yeah.
Except
for Discovery.
Well, yeah, but Discovery is only like it's like pox at it. It doesn't. It's not like I told you this before. Like more of that one where they go to the planet and it's the house is there, and it's the that's the very like religion in Discovery.
In Discovery, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
more
episode
stuff like
2
that.
of Season 2. That's the episode that changed my mind about Discovery.
I knew it would too when I was
Yeah.
watching this. And I was like, oh, this is gonna change a lot of
Yeah.
people's minds.
Oh my god, Amanda just timed out her own boyfriend for saying that Galaxy Quest is his favorite Star Trek. Abuse of power that is so funny.
That's not, no. That's not an abuse of power. That's the kind of.
That's the type of mod ship that you were hired for, Amanda. That
even
is so funny.
Even if it's not a rule, it's super funny to mute your boyfriend.
Oh, and Italki timed him out for another 300 seconds. Oh, that's so funny.
Can we give Amanda a raise?
Yeah.
Great. Let's double her salary.
Done. Still 0.
What I want to see from Discovery Season 2 is, I think I've told you this before, they have to go to a planet that's just like Earth, except one thing is different.
Yeah.
You know
like
what I mean?
like they did in the original series over and over again.
Over and over again.
It's
And
like, this is just like Earth, except everyone's a gangster.
Yeah, it's gangster planet. It's Nazi planet. It's Roman gladiator planet.
Yes.
Ugh,
absolutely, yes.
Do that in Discovery.
Okay.
It would blow people's minds.
Amanda just also says, like, we haven't done this in so long that we had to re-rank all the shows. It's hilarious. I wonder if my answer was different from last time. I don't know. What's up, Matt? Good to see you.
This is our previously on.
Yeah, previously on Doug Space 9.
Discovery is the best. No, it's not. My favorite is TNG. DS9.
Who Weeps for Adonis? Oh, cool. I'm stoked you're watching the original series. There's some really good stuff in the
It's
original
fun.
series. There's a lot of really bad stuff in the original
Yeah,
series.
it's why it's my third favorite of all of them. But
Yeah.
hey,
Do I like it better or worse than Voyager? I don't know.
Like what, better or worse?
The original series. Like, that's something that I'd have to...
Voyager's better than the original series.
I mean, I'm not
See,
sure
I don't
about
think.
that.
But see, this is where you and I disagree. I don't think Voyager's better than TNG or Deep Space Nine. I think they're all equally
equally That's
good and equally bad. in their own way.
100% incorrect.
Well, this is why we. This is basically
factually
why,
incorrect.
No, this
I
is,
know this is an opinion show, but that's factually incorrect.
This is why you and I started doing this kind of thing.
I know.
Because I had said to you, if you map out opinions about Discovery and map them out with like TNG and DS9 to see like where those real stinkers are that everyone forgets about,
Yeah.
you'll find like, oh, it is basically people have the same opinions about all of them.
Well, and now we're literally I have a fucking spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Like, we are mapping it out. Amanda says, at least Jesse doesn't think Discovery as a whole is a trash fire still. Hey, I'm relieved. I'm overjoyed that season 2 of Discovery was wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm overjoyed.
Yeah.
I'm so happy, and I can't wait for Picard, and I can't wait for Lower Decks.
And here's the
Discovery
thing.
season 3, all of a sudden we're in like a Star Trek renaissance, and it like snuck up on me.
Picard is going to have the advantage that Deep Space Nine had thanks to TNG. Deep Space Nine starts weak, but Deep Space Nine becomes a very good show, and a lot of people love it more than TNG.
Yeah.
But it also is starting after TNG has been out there, and like TNG's first 2 seasons are some of the worst Star Trek. You know?
I know, but I love it, though.
Of course, sure, but
there's like really, I mean, where No One Has Gone Before is such a good episode.
Yeah,
The Traveler, I mean, that stands up for me.
Sure.
In its badness.
Yes.
It still stands up against like some of my favorite episodes as being just like some of the best.
It's also just
TNG.
tonally strange because you get
Yeah.
to watch how the speed of shows increases over time. The early TNGs,
the
you're like,
pacing.
they're just standing around
I love
talking
it. They're
about
just
where they're
hanging out doing like Klingon tea ceremonies with Dr. Pulaski.
And then-
I mean,
but-
I'm all about it.
But then you get to season 3. Season 3 the season 3 TNG is like, we're above this planet and this is what we're doing. Like right away.
It's much better writing. I mean, they got a new showrunner.
It's tighter.
Michael
yeah.
Pillar just like made Star Trek better.
So here's my point: is that
Okay.
then Deep Space Nine comes in and it kind of learns from some of those mistakes.
So even though Deep Space Nine season 1 is not its best by far,
It's better
it's
than-
way better
Yes.
of a show. It's like, it feels like a well-made show.
And it gets better quick. You
Yeah.
know, by season 2,
yeah,
it's strong.
We start out strong, totally.
And then so I think
And yet-
Picard is going to start out as a very strong first season.
Because Discovery had a horrible first season and then got their shit together.
Yeah,
And then this is coming when that production team is already up and running.
Exactly.
Similarly to how Deep Space Nine started.
Right, yes.
I hear you. I
think
agree.
it's going to
I
help a
hope-
lot.
I think so.
But that said, I think people need to be prepared if this. There's a lot of people, Picard will not be what they're looking for.
Sure.
And those people, that's fine. But people that are going to be like, oh, what are they doing? Like, calm down. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, I have very few expectations for Picard. Like, I still can't even really believe it's happening. It's just
Right.
so weird.
Yeah,
it's
see, to me,
happening, and I'm just so interested to see it. I have no idea what it's going to be about, and
Right.
because of
That's
that,
great.
my
It's
expectations
new Star
are
Trek.
like just very neutral.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
going to try to avoid as much spoilery stuff about it and
Yeah,
just
me
experience
too.
it.
Me too.
Yeah, I trust the people who have control over Star Trek at the moment making new things. So I'm just looking forward to what
Yeah.
they do.
Now that they fired Aaron Halberts and Gretchen Berg, I feel the same.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
the
yeah.
showrunners on season 1 of Discovery.
Yeah, and I still like season 1 Discovery, but I'm glad that they don't have control of the show.
Yeah, that season 1 of Discovery is the worst Star Trek that's ever been made.
No, it might be worse than season 1 of TNG, but it's not worse than TOS.
Well, hopefully someday we'll have the data to back that up.
Well, no, because I know you'll rewatch them. You'll be like, "Yep, 1, 0."
I just
and I'll be over here
despised
be like,
it.
8.
I know.
7.
But we'll meet in the middle. You know, like a 4 is really low, and if
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going
yeah.
1 and you're going 8,
Yeah.
4.5 is whatever. You know. You hope Patrick Stewart lives forever. I mean,
He seems like a nice guy.
yeah.
If we're gonna hand out immortality
but
to everyone,
if death doesn't exist, what does life even mean?
ask Vandal Savage.
Who's Vandal Savage?
Oh,
Wait.
You haven't started year 4 of
I know that name.
Arrow.
I haven't.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's from DC Comics. I'm like,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that name from something. You're not a fan of Shatner. I love Shatner as Kirk in a way, but because it's like bad, you know?
Yeah, it's an ironic love for me, and
Yeah.
Shatner himself as a person seems to be pretty garbage at the moment. Like, current
It's hard.
Politically, he
hard
just
to
seems like
tell.
a douche, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I've
like
heard all
he's-
sorts of weird
he's
things about him
a
over the years.
grown-ass
But
old man. Why is he trolling people on Twitter? Like, calm
I mean,
down.
that's like the president of the United States is doing it. Like that's
Yeah,
that's in, Doug.
That's
For
not a good-
80-year-old men, that's what they're doing.
Not very Star Trek. Look at look at Patrick Stewart. He's being like a chill old ass.
Oh my
dude.
god, he's being adorable on
Yeah.
Twitter. Just like pictures of him and Ian McKellen
Yeah.
being buddy. You keep thinking you want to watch the show and then you have to turn it off because of Shatner.
Yeah.
Oh no, Shatner has a new show he hosts now. Really?
Ugh.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of his other works.
Yeah. I mean, he's in a couple of great episodes of Twilight Zone.
Right.
And like, I mean, his acting is insane. Like,
Yeah.
he's the only person I've ever seen act that way.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
so specific.
It's a choice.
Although, have you noticed that, what's his name? Something Kavanaugh from Flash, who plays Harrison Wells, has a little bit of a Shatner-esque pause in his speech pattern.
Interesting. I did not notice that. But the one difference I'd say is that, what's Patrick Kavanaugh?
I don't know, Kavanaugh. Something Kavanaugh.
He at least is like a actor who's making choices, not an actor who's made one choice and is sticking with it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a soft spot for Shatner as an actor. Like, have you seen the episode of The Twilight Zone where he's like in a diner and he's, I don't even remember what the plot was, but he's like going through something freaky.
Right, yeah.
He's like gripping. He's really good.
Yeah. The plane one, the gremlin one.
That one's great. I just watched that recently, and he's gripping in that as well. I watched that because I watched the new version of it on CBS All Access. Did you watch it, The Twilight Zone?
I haven't yet, yeah.
It was cool. I only watched a couple of the episodes. I really liked it. I want to see the rest at some point.
I'm looking forward.
But I struggle with anthology shows sometimes to like really get into it, because what I really get into is character. Although I will be watching Black Mirror recently. Part of Space Nerds is going to be Alexandria and I doing Black Mirror stuff.
Sure.
Really fun. The Shat is the best over actor of our time.
Yeah, he brings the ham.
You're not wrong.
Okay,
so this is why Doug was saying we could get through these episodes relatively quick, and I'm like, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's taken us 20 minutes to get to the first second of this episode.
Because we got so much to talk about.
Yeah, and literally just repeating ourselves from past episodes. But hey, I mean, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we create comfort with the audience.
So this whole scene is just the classic, like, we're in the military scene, where...
can break off relations with an edict.
Stop it. Shh. Stop it. Okay. I just turned the sound up. The classic military scene where the commander's like, oh, this dangerous thing's gonna happen, and I'm gonna volunteer to do it, and I'm not expecting anyone to step up, and then everyone steps up.
Yeah.
So, I like the scene. There's, like, nothing wrong with the scene. It's just I've seen this so many times.
I don't think it's needed. I don't need to be sold on the idea that this is dangerous and that
Spanish dude, sorry.
the Starfleet people are going to go along with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a nice tour of the haircuts of the future. So I do appreciate it for that. And this is the kind of scene that when I see it, I think to myself, oh, they're gonna make us like someone for a hot minute so that they can like kill them or put them in danger.
Totally, yeah.
Then the other thing I think of is like, oh, they have some like old people in Starfleet.
Yeah, they're like old ensigns. It's the classic, the old ensign.
Yeah.
Justin, what's up? Dude, good to see you. Pelder joy to you. You didn't like Deep Space Nine. Wow. Well, hang out and make fun of it with us. We love it, but we're gonna mock it anyway. The battle between Amanda and Andy is hot right now. She's just... I love Galaxy Quest. It's one of my favorite movies.
It's great.
When at the Star Trek convention where they voted it into like the list of Star Trek movies, did you hear about this?
No.
There was an official voting at a Star Trek convention about what the best Star Trek movies were in order, and Galaxy Quest got voted onto the list, and it's not at the bottom. You know, it's like above several Star Trek movies. I thought that was amazing. I have no problem with that.
But that is not a representation. Canon is not open to democracy. Let's just...
Sure. Yeah. Totally.
So you are free to call it your favorite Star Trek movie. You're just wrong about what a Star Trek movie is.
Well, sure. But the thing about Galaxy Quest is, like, it's exploring what it was like to be on Star Trek.
It's the best parody of Star Trek.
It's like a level beyond a Star Trek. It's a
meta parody of Star Trek.
It's like what if, I mean, obviously it's like what if William Shatner, not Captain Kirk, but William Shatner and the crew from Starfleet, like, all of a sudden had to go and actually do things in space.
Right.
It's amazing. It's like what we all would have loved to have seen. Of course, like, I mean, with any of the Star Trek cast. I can't even explain, like, how cool that would have been with, like, actual Star Trek
actors.
If
Galaxy Quest didn't exist, it would be the kind of thing that you could do now with the original actors from the original series, because like that Beverly Hills show, they lived in that BH 90210.
I don't know anything.
So this is a meta show about Beverly Hills 90210.
No.
Where it is the actors playing heightened versions of themselves.
Oh my God.
And talking about there being a reality show, but also
wonderful.
Engaged in Beverly Hills 90210 style, like drama.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
must watch this. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Wait, who's on it?
All the people that
From the original
from
Beverly
the
Hills
original-
90210.
Yeah, playing themselves.
That's insane. I've never even seen that show, but I really want to watch it.
Yeah, so-
it's like there's that movie in the Freddy Krueger series.
Oh, yes, right.
Where-
Where then England, what's his name?
Where like Freddy Krueger starts to haunt the actress who played the girl from
Yep.
the original movie. That sounds so cool. I haven't seen
Right,
that.
and then
yet.
the guy that plays, I was gonna say Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Robert Englund.
Yeah, he plays himself in the movie, right?
I think so. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. I think I heard that, and I think like Gus Van Sant is in. Is he the director? Right?
I don't know.
Gus Van Sant.
I don't like horror movies, so I know very little about
Yeah,
them.
I'm not super into horror, but I really liked Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie. Have you seen that one, the first one?
Nah, it's horror, so I don't-
It's not too scary, and it's more just like crazy good practical effects.
Yeah, I'm never gonna watch it.
Unlike anything you've ever really seen.
I'll never
It's
watch
really
it.
cool. You should watch
Yeah,
it.
the only horror movie that I really like is Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, that movie's so good.
Yeah, and that's the level of where like, okay, I will now watch a horror movie.
I love that
Yeah.
movie.
And Army of Darkness, which is
I
horror
love
comedy.
Army of Darkness.
Right.
I mean, the whole Evil Dead series is great.
Nah, I won't watch the other two. I just watched that one.
Oh, and Pan's Labyrinth. Have you seen that?
That's horror. I'm never gonna watch it.
It's not quite horror.
Nah.
It's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah, I've
it's
heard.
so good.
But I won't watch it.
Yeah, Justin, while you're here, I actually have been meaning to text you because I don't know why I'm doing this on this live stream, but I'm doing a new intro for a podcast thing, and I really wanted to see if you wanted to do voiceover for it. And also, you've never come to be on the podcast and just chat, so we should do that also. You don't care for Pan's Labyrinth? That movie's fucking great. It's so good. I'm doing it live. I'll text you. I'm just making life plans right now.
Amanda likes Cabin in the Woods, doesn't care for Pan's Labyrinth, so
Andy says Cabin in the Woods is the Galaxy Quest of horror movies.
kinda,
It
yeah,
kind of is, yeah, totally. Yeah, except
It's-
like instead of actors, it's like the actual horrors.
Yeah,
you know?
and well, it's a meta. To me, it's not to me, but it is factually. It's a meta narrative. It's a movie that makes a statement about the genre of which the movie takes place. And Galaxy Quest does that. This Beverly Hills 90210, BH 90210 show does that. Last Action Hero does that, which is, and that's what I mean. That's the kind of thing that I really love. My whole point was that you could definitely do that today with Star Trek. If Galaxy Quest hadn't done it, 100% that show would have been pitched with the Star Trek actors themselves doing it.
I still feel like they should just do it, even though Galaxy Quest exists. 'cause
Oh, they
why
should
not?
do it as a remake of Galaxy Quest?
Oh my god, that should be the new Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest reboot.
Yeah.
A cover movie.
Oh my god, with Star Trek actors and just make it that would be incredible. Well, we've solved it.
Yeah, we solved it.
Oh my god, Amanda, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, Justin, that sounds great. Well, we can, let's at least do the voiceover and then we can figure out if we want to do anything else. Even just like a short thing too could be fun.
So they don't need this scene, we both are
Yeah,
kind of...
long story short,
Yeah.
don't necessarily need this scene.
But we do get to see the haircuts of the future.
I'm gonna unmute this now.
Sure.
Anyone who wants to evacuate is dismissed.
Oh yeah, so they give them the option to evacuate.
Right.
It's not showing me the preview like it usually does. That's a bummer. That's
yeah.
That's how I usually navigate this shit.
Are you using the website or the app?
The website.
Yeah, something's wrong then.
Yeah, my preview window is gone. That's gonna make this harder. Okay, Justin. Yeah, for sure. The Orville feels more like Galaxy Quest than TNG. That's interesting.
Yeah, so
I love the Orville.
yeah, I like the Orville. I don't think it's better than current new Star Trek, but it's great.
I think season 1 of the Orville was better than season 1 of Discovery, but season 2 of Discovery was better than season 2 of the Orville. But season 2 of the Orville was really good.
Yeah. I would disagree with that, but I think that's a fair opinion to have.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
Oh yeah, so then there's this whole subplot of Quark trying to earn some profit off of everyone being afraid, trying to leave.
Because there's an evacuation. There's a limited
Right.
number of seats, or Quark is trying to create at least the illusion of a limited number of seats, and then buy seats from people and then sell them to others.
Right.
And maybe he is actually buying seats, or most likely he's just selling seats that are there anyways, you know?
Or just like selling seats that don't exist just to get the money and then take off. Because he thinks that this is the end of the station, so
Sure.
he doesn't think that there's any reason to
There's
like...
no consequences for him.
Yeah,
cashing
he doesn't
out.
think there's any reason to do anything
But see, this is how I think the Star Trek world works. Is they're like, why is there no money, and money's complicated and it's confusing, and how do Ferengi operate with this? And what's happening here is Starfleet is evacuating the station. Everyone who's not, but there's enough room for everyone who's not a Bajoran to get on the shuttles and leave for free because they're evacuating.
Right.
Quark is going around talking to a bunch of Bajorans, going, "You gotta buy a ticket, otherwise you're gonna get murdered when these people come up here. It's really scary." And so they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And they're just
sowing fear to sell tickets.
And this is one of my ongoing theories of Deep Space Nine is that the Klingons are warriors, right? And then the Vulcans are reserved in logic. The Bajorans are fucking gullible idiots. They believe anything. They worship all these various gods. They have that one village that's like, oh, let's worship this guy who's going to fight this thing in the cloud. Okay. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them gullible idiots.
Definitely gullible
I know what
idiots.
you're talking about, but to me, I would call it more like they are a people who have been like horribly oppressed and are looking for something to believe in.
This oppression is only
believe in anything.
40 years.
Hey, Patrick, what's up?
This oppression doesn't go back like 5,000 years. Like,
sure, but being occupied for 40 years in like a Holocaust-like situation is...
Yeah.
Like, the Holocaust did not last 40 years.
That storyteller shit was happening well before Bajor was occupied. The thing where they have...
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, that is not... You cannot lay that at the doorstep of the Cardassians.
Yeah, what was that thing called? The Balrog?
The Balrog? That's been going on for generations.
From season 1.
I'm just saying,
totally.
continually they show the Bajorans as, like, falling for things. They want to worship
I don't disagree
Leonalis.
with that. I don't disagree with that.
So, all these Bajorans gave Quark a bunch of money to buy passes onto the shuttles, and then they show up there, and then the people are there like, well, these people are here saying they have tickets. I don't know what's going on.
It's like, this is free. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
And also, you're Bajoran. You don't have to leave.
Yeah. That's a really good point, actually. Justin says they have a reason to believe in gods. They have actual artifacts that, for all intents and purposes, are supernatural. They own proof that their gods exist.
Sure, this is
like,
my...
in the tiers of the prophets.
And that's what I had said to you before, is that this is my version of that theory, not the occupation. It's that being next to the wormhole with the wormhole aliens and these artifacts, that's created a society of... maybe gullible idiots isn't the right word, but people who are very susceptible to believing something that seems, credulous. They're very credulous.
Yeah, I mean, we are, like, our society is that way, you know? People believe all sorts of crazy
Well, just
shit.
like, we it's a heightened version of that aspect of humanity, which is a very Star Trek thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't think they do that explicitly. I'm saying this is a subtext that I am detecting in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I definitely see what you mean, for sure. I feel like they're no worse than humans, if anything, maybe even better, because we've never had any proof that our gods exist.
You mean no worse than humans in real life?
Yeah.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
The humans in the show are shown to be...
Yeah, I think our current society is more, or equally, if not more gullible than Bajorans.
Yeah. I got nothing against the Bajoran people. First of all, they don't exist.
Yeah, all we have are hallucinations and faith, exactly. We just got mushrooms and burning bushes, and that's it, man.
But so much of Deep Space Nine can be explained if you tell yourself, oh, right, a Bajoran will believe anything.
Yeah. I want to watch this scene real quick because I love this shit.
Hey, you mind? Cut it out.
Okay, so just to set this up, Jake is really upset that they're leaving because he's finally made a new home, and then this is Nog's attempt to cheer him up.
Has there ever been one of your kind and one of my kind who were better friends? Never. And if our fathers couldn't break us up, no stupid coup did. Coup did.
Coup d'etat. It's French.
Well, no stupid French thing will either. We'll see each other again soon. That's a promise.
Mr. Sisko, Nog, this is no time to be fooling about. Get yourselves to wherever you're supposed to be.
I just love this scene.
Yeah, it's cute.
I have a thing for Jake and Nog together. Like I really like Jake and Nog together.
It's a nice friendship.
Yeah, and it's like the type of friendship that you don't usually see portrayed, where there's these two people who are, not just different, but their parents don't like them hanging out because of their differences and their cultural differences. But then their friendship just like transcends that and kind of teaches everyone else around them about acceptance.
Sure.
Over the course of the show.
Right. You're saying it's not a story that they do on Star Trek, typically. It is a story that we do all the time in our culture.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like what?
Enemy Mine.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I know what it is.
But
though.
yeah, it's the friends across the line from you. You know,
Yeah.
that is the it's
Yeah.
the story of racial tolerance or cultural tolerance.
But I feel like this one goes a step further because of how it impacts the adults.
No, that's the template of the story. Is like,
Yeah.
oh, look at these kids who don't know any better. They don't know enough to hate each other, and now they're friends. And then the adults are like, geez, maybe there is wisdom in the idiot kids being friends with people.
I guess so. I don't know. Something about this version of it feels different to me.
Yeah, well, it's Star Trek. I don't think Star Trek has done that on an ongoing
Yeah, maybe
level.
that's what it is that, like, Star Trek is always talking about acceptance and everyone being equal and, you know,
Right.
all this optimism
But also
and
in a-
utopia.
but not
then
in a
they're
specific-
but then everyone's, like, racist against Ferengi because, like, well, yeah,
Sure, and
everyone's equal
Klingons.
and everyone's great, but Ferengi are kind of stupid.
And Klingons get the short end of it too.
Yeah, like all the time on Next Generation, they're constantly mocking Ferengi.
Yeah.
And I think that definitely carries over into this show, but then this show is kind of, you know, showing the Ferengi culture in a much more rounded way and also kind of pokes at that prejudice against them and unravels it a little bit.
It's what
and
TNG did with Klingons.
It's just really cool. I really like it. Enemy Mine is great. Yeah, I'll have to watch it. It's something that's been on my list to watch for a long time. Okay, so then we have O'Brien saying goodbye to his wife
Right,
because
which is
he's staying behind. It's like more filler, you know.
Yeah, it is. And also I don't like this because I think I've seen people say like, oh, this shows why Keiko's awful and she's, you know, a bad person.
Really?
Yeah, but I think the opposite. I think this shows that O'Brien is, you know, a bad person. Like I get it. He's like, no, I have to stay and save the station, but he really doesn't.
Yeah.
Like everyone is staying, you know. He's got a family here.
Well, I love that O'Brien is deep down he's a soldier. You know, like he used to be a soldier.
He has no business being married with kids. He wants to keep being a soldier.
I wouldn't say that he has no business being married with kids. I feel like you can be, you know, in this world you can be both, and I think in our world you can be both.
Yeah.
But for a soldier, like your first priority always has to be the mission and your team and your crew, and like he just can't put that down. There's no way for him to not stay behind if anyone else is staying behind.
I guess what bothers me is that
even
there's-
above like his wife and child's need to have their father in their life.
What I don't like about this is that it is simply portrayed as O'Brien doing the right thing and Keiko kind of wanting him not to do the right thing. And there's no examination of it whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's the other side is not portrayed at all. Versus, not to bring up our other ongoing project, but like an Arrow, family versus sacrifice. And that's like a constant thing.
Totally.
Everyone goes through a version of that story. Everyone, I think, is on either side of it at various times in the show.
Yeah.
Whether they think that should happen or that it shouldn't. And so I do like that. Like that's more interesting.
I hear you. Because like, for me, I feel like both sides of the argument are correct. You know, like Keiko is correct in saying you should come with us, and O'Brien is correct in saying I have to stay behind. I don't feel like there's a right or a wrong answer here. I feel like it's just a personal choice and a need is what it comes down to for both of them. The one thing that is, you know, frustrating is that his choice negates her desire. Like her choice just gets thrown out the window because of his choice.
Keiko gets real short shrift in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, and I love Keiko. I've always really liked Keiko. I feel like her reaction to this situation is totally understandable and normal, and I don't see why people would think that it's bullshit.
She gets a lot of like. I mean, of course, it's Star Trek with the fandom. Like a lot of female characters get short shrift from the fans. You know, Keiko,
fandom sucks.
Luoxana.
Fandom is intolerant and sexist and
Pulaski.
racist.
Yeah.
Pulaski's great. Luoxana's great.
This is why I always say, like, I know Star Wars fandom is awful, but they just have more people. Star Trek fandom is equally percentage awful.
I do think that what you said about the show not examining it, I do think that the show is on O'Brien's side. I think the writers are on O'Brien's side.
Absolutely, because the writers don't know what to do with Keiko, so she winds up playing counterpoint without actually getting to explore her side of things.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that's what does steer some people in fandom to be like, this show is right, Keiko is awful.
Right, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, in reality.
I feel like watching it from the outside, I don't draw those conclusions from it, but I think that in the showrunner's mind, or the writer's mind, O'Brien is right.
Yeah. And what's really going on underneath the surface is
Ooh.
that O'Brien wants to
Good question.
hook up with Julian.
Yeah.
And doesn't feel comfortable doing it. And Keiko's like, just
Only in the
go.
holodeck, though, right?
Just
They're just
go.
gonna go like get their suits on, or maybe they'll go kayaking together.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
accidentally kiss. Okay, Justin says. That's the show I want to see. Is O'Brien and Bashir's relationship developing?
we will watch that.
Sexual
Yeah.
context.
That's a huge undercurrent of the show. That it's the same with Garrick and Bashir's.
Garrick and Bashir, I see it.
No,
for sure.
we'll see. You'll get to it.
I just want everyone to make out with everyone. Okay,
Julian-
Justin says, I don't think he wants to keep being a soldier. It's just something that keeps coming back to haunt him.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, either way, he can't get it out of himself. And then Alexa has a great question. What is considered the best Star Trek episode ever of all the different series?
Well, I mean, it depends on who you ask.
Well, let's think about it. Let's ask us. What do you think?
Yeah, the one where they
Best
do
episode ever.
where they go to Talos 4 on season 2 of Discovery.
I mean, that is
flashback
totally
That
gotta be in the running.
That flashback is better than most episodes of TNG.
Yeah, the beginning of that episode when it says like previously on, it shows original series, you're like, we are in for some shit tonight.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
this is gonna be great. That episode is great.
Yeah.
I think that In the Pale Moonlight, that's a great one. Super Hamster. Also, hello, Super Hamster. Good to see you. For me personally,
That's the DS9 one, Pale Moon.
yeah, that's a great episode. That's the one where it's like, it's a fake.
Yeah.
My favorite episode of Deep Space Nine is Only a Paper Moon. The one where Nog is, spoilers for stuff that's coming on later, the one where Nog is having PTSD and goes to live in the holodeck with Vic Fontaine.
Right.
That episode is precious to me. I love that episode.
I like the one where they have the hallucination for Benny for the...
Oh, that's so
sci-fi.
good.
That's a good one.
That's such a good one. Yeah. But across all Star Trek, like, what's my favorite episode of Next Generation?
I know what the best episode is across all of Star Trek.
Is it the one where Kirk is living as a Native American and he's like, I am happy! That episode? Is that it? No, okay.
It could be, though.
What do you think?
Threshold on Voyager.
Oh, yeah, where they turn into a newt and have newt babies. Because they went past the warp threshold. That's it.
There's nothing better. That is as Star Trek gets.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, thank you.
For me personally, like thinking back to TNG, I definitely think that a lot of people are gonna put, I've got it.
Okay.
I've got it. For me.
Sure.
I've got it. I think for a lot of people, they're gonna put the one where Picard lives that whole other life. Inner Light.
The flute one,
The flute one. I think a lot of people will... Can you time Doug out? You have to get out for 300 seconds.
Ain't nobody gonna mute me. I like the sweet, tender romance of Warp 10 Lizard Love. No greater love story has ever been told.
Yeah, a lot
Star
of
Trek.
Doug's opinions are real intense. They're hard to swallow.
Paris saying, sorry I doinked you and threw a bunch of lizard babies in you, Captain.
Yeah.
And the Captain going, what makes you think it was your idea? That's the best moment of Star Trek. Janeway, and she smirks at him, like basically like, I jumped on that lizard dick. You did not initiate this. And then they go back to work the next day.
I'm so tempted to pull that episode up right now and watch that tweet. For me, the best episode across all Star Trek, my answer right now, having just give this a little bit of thought, I think it's the final episode of TNG, All Good Things.
Yeah, sure.
That episode is just so good in so many ways, and what really sets it apart is that it manages to capture the essence of why I love Star Trek and wrap up that show and be a good standalone episode.
Wouldn't it be great?
And have great sci-fi and have time travel.
Sure. It's got everything.
And then
It's
like
cute.
the perfect ending.
They bookend it to the far point.
Yeah, it's just so good. But the question is, like, does that stand alone as the best episode?
Why does it have to stand alone? I mean,
I feel like the best episode across all Star Trek should probably stand alone as a great episode.
Right.
You should be able to just watch it and say that's a great episode. But for me,
I know mine does.
I'm feeling all good things right now. One time,
you know, and honestly,
I want to tell a story. I want to catch up
sure.
with chat real quick. You'll check those out. The series finale of TNG is good. Yeah. What's your Star Trek watching history, Alexa? What have you seen? Paris was the third best pimp in Star Trek after Riker and Kirk. I mean, Don't get me started on Voyager.
Tuvix is a pretty good episode.
Oh, fuck you. You're just trying to piss me off.
Because that episode actually wrestles with a difficult question in a way that Star Trek tries to and always dances away at the end.
I feel like that's the most egregious example of wrestling with a hard question where it just sweeps it under the rug and moves on with its own life.
Gotcha.
That episode makes me so mad.
Oh, I love it.
It opens up this it opens up a really intense question.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. To me, it doesn't really unpack it. Maybe I need to watch it again as an adult because I haven't seen that in 10 years. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it is the best series finale ever, Alexa. I really do.
Oh, sorry.
When I was 15 years ago or something, I was hanging out with a friend in San Diego, and he'd never watched Star Trek, and I talk about it all the time. So he's just like, fine, I'll sit down with you and watch an episode of Star Trek. Show me some Star Trek.
Right.
So I showed him I don't remember what episode of TNG, but he starts asking me questions about how the Star Trek universe works. And he's like, well, what's the holodeck? And how does the holodeck work? And I'm like, well, if you're here and you take something outside, it'll disappear because it doesn't exist outside the holodeck. I'm just giving him answers to everything. He's like, how does the view screen work? He's like, well, they've got cameras or something, maybe in space. And which we finally kind of see in Discovery, the probes that are always around the ship, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Which explains a lot. But anyway,
right.
I'm explaining to him how this thing works. And he's like, oh, what happens? How does the warp speed work? I'm like, well, warp speed's been different if you look at the different shows. They changed the scale, so warp 9 is now faster than warp 9 was before. And he's like, okay, well, what happens if you go faster than warp 9? I'm like, well, you turn into a newt. You turn into a salamander and you have sex with your captain and have salamander babies. And he looks at me and he's like,
no, but really?
He's like, what?
No,
and
yes,
I'm
really.
like, Dan, Star Trek is not actually filmed in space.
They may take some liberties.
But it just this whole conversation just broke down at that point, it's just unacceptable.
This is why Threshold is so beautiful, because it is there in Star Trek canon. They did that.
But you think it's beautiful because it's insane that it exists.
All of Star Trek is insane. All of Star Trek is insane. It is fundamentally insane. They have done so much time travel, it's amazing that anything works out.
I know.
And they still insist that there's one prime timeline and then one sustained offshoot timeline.
Yeah.
When
I don't
the
need
space program was started by Ed Begley Jr. The hippie who found the dude from the 23rd century or the 30th
Voyager,
century.
with Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. That's so funny.
So
they turned into newts, but they got better semi-Newtonian physics.
Kirk discovers time travel twice.
Yeah,
twice during
Spock forgets that time travel exists several times. They time travel, and then 20 years later he's like, time travel's impossible.
Right.
No apparent reason. Yeah, it's all a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But what I love about it is that it is trying to examine humanity and teach us about ourselves and break down what's happening in current day society by examining it through sociological lens in the future.
Which
that's what Star Trek is great for, and Threshold has none of that. Threshold is just garbage.
It does bring up the issue of child abandonment and does not address it.
Yeah,
what it needs is a good sequel.
I mean, we gotta have a sequel. I'll bet that those newts evolve further into the creatures that live inside of the back of your neck in season 2 of TNG, and they develop time travel and go back and try to take over the Federation from the past.
You're close, but not quite. I do have a whole headcanon that Threshold ties into. With the other Voyager episode where they meet the dinosaur people who have human DNA.
Yeah, Voyager's a little dumb.
No, it's great. It's you. Hey, you think The Expanse is weird? You ought to go see.
You mean the Expanse of Enterprise?
Enterprise Expanse,
the show.
Right?
Yeah.
You didn't need to go to The Expanse for weird space.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Voyager, I struggled with Voyager.
Yeah,
but maybe someday we'll. Doug Trek Voyager. I still want to do Doug Trek The Next Jesseration, which you came up with, which cracked me the fuck up. Only Spock knew how to warp around his sun to time travel because no one else ever does it on any other show. I know they solve time travel and they fucking cure death in the Prime universe. I don't know, and that they just technology comes and goes depending on the needs of the story.
In the original
but
series,
I think it's good to put all that stuff down and just say whatever and just enjoy the human story that's unfolding.
What I do is I believe that what you're watching when you watch the original series are based on the captain logs of known fabricator, fabulous liar, Captain James T. Kirk, where he's like, yeah, it's flying around space, banging all these hot chicks. We cold started the warp core, went back in time. He's just like, what it is, it's like super chill out in space, and he's like getting in a couple fights with Klingons.
Yeah.
But otherwise, not much is happening. But he's filling up these logs with like, we did this, and then we did this.
I can buy it. Yeah, totally. That tracks.
So anything that doesn't make sense, just think, oh, Kirk's lied about it.
Amanda says they time traveled so much they undid their memory of everything they did during time travel because of time travel. I think that's also accurate.
Oh. See, Amanda can explain
what happens next
Arrow.
in this episode?
Oh, then they hide in the tubes, and then they fight the Bajoran military.
Yeah,
and then everything goes back to normal.
Oh, this is when they find they find out that there's these ships that they can go down and get on a moon of Bajor. You don't like that whole thing where Jadzia Dax and Kira go down to the planet to?
I like that Jadzia and Kira had some scenes together.
Yeah,
but it all just felt so like. We need to get these jalopies out there. Why? So we're going to fight against the entire Bajoran military.
Yeah.
This is what we do. We're resistance people.
The pacing of this episode is wildly different than the first two in this three-parter. Mm-hmm. Where this feels like they're trying to make a Star Wars episode, where they're like doing like scrappy fighters and the thing that's broken down. And
I feel like this could have been a two-parter. Also, here's what's interesting. This is their first real foray into... serialized.
I guess so. This is I guess so, a three-parter.
Right,
yeah.
Which I don't think any
for this
Star
show
Trek,
anyway.
Well, no, had Star Trek done
I think you're right. This is the first three-parter ever in Star Trek, isn't it? Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So this is Quark getting busted for trying to sell seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also, choke his ass out because he deserves it. But he is much worse in the next one.
Amanda says, now this may be my favorite and most classic Doug Space Nine ever, where we tried desperately to stay on track, but we end up talking about newt, sex, and Galaxy Quest. That should be a song. Newt, sex, and Galaxy Quest. Boo, 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 boo.
Will you be my Warp 10 lover?
Yeah, obviously this is the best.
Quark is bad, and it's ridiculous that he's not in jail.
Yeah. Lee Nallis giving a rousing speech. I just love Lee Nallis, and this is another thing about this episode that is hard for me is that I feel like
Morn!
I feel like I can't stop looking at Morn right now.
Right.
I feel
Morn's
killing
gonna ticket.
I feel like killing this character is kind of it frustrates me because like Lee Nallis is a great character, and I feel like there's so much rich story to be told.
Oh yeah,
with him.
The
first two episodes of this three-part are so rich and like textured.
Yes.
And this episode doesn't really dive into that texture as much, and then kills him.
Right.
Which ends that arc forever, and it's frustrating. Like,
this is why I don't like this episode, because this episode is a failure in the sense of it being the failed start of what could have been serialized versus episodic, which they weren't trying to do, to be clear. They wanted to do a three-parter and then go back to the episodic formula, obviously.
Right.
But in another way to do this would be to have this season 2 be when they start doing these like 5-6 arc episodes like they start to do at the end of
season 7.
Yeah, which is the correct choice for Star Trek. So here, what you wind up happening, instead of you're following the energy of the strong second episode especially, this is just weirdly wrapping everything up.
Yeah.
Just so they can get back to the reset button.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's filler, because it's like a lot of stuff to wrap up. But
you
could have followed through with more of this. Like, the two evil Bajorans, the priest lady and
I mean, all that being
Dracula.
said, I really enjoy all the filler.
Nurse Ratched and Dracula. Bajor ruled by Nurse Ratched and Dracula. That's why I love Deep Space Nine.
I love the characters. Like, all the cutesy, jokey stuff in this episode is fun. It's just like but it is filler. I don't dislike it. It's just like it is just a little bit under what the other two of this three-parter are.
Yeah, it's also, again,
so it's like, do we judge it for not being as good as those first two, or do we just enjoy it for what we enjoy about it? I don't know.
Yeah, I even don't like it necessarily on its own. It's still better than a lot of like season 1.
I mean, I really like it on its own. I do think that it was really memorable for me, like them, hiding on the station. So now we're getting to the point where all the bad, well, not bad, but the Bajoran military is showing up.
Which is it's interesting you say that, because they're now being invaded by people with guns, but these are the people who own this station. They now are the the monsters in the ducks.
Wait a second. The Newt Sex created the bad guys from Galaxy Quest. Headcanon confirmed.
No, but not bad. It's close. It created the lizards that have human DNA. With the scientists, that's when they do the creation myth. Criticize.
Yeah, that's right. There was an episode where the
dinosaurs believe they evolved from humans.
Yeah.
And then he was rejected by the church state of the dinosaur people for having heretical views.
Yeah.
And so then he's trying to kidnap the people in Voyager to prove that their DNA is the same DNA.
What was the resolution? What was it that
the good guys win?
they dinosaurs evolved into this species. Earth dinosaurs evolved.
No,
into this
they
species,
evolved. They had human DNA, so their origin was the planet Earth.
Right.
Not that they evolved from humans, but that
they evolved from Earth dinosaurs.
But they showed a human that at one point of here's one of our ancestors.
Yeah, I don't remember how that all makes.
Anyways,
sense.
they're the lizard babies that traveled through time.
Okay.
They went through time, which is partially correct.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make more sense. I'm with you. So we get to this planet.
Bulagoo.
Wait. Let's back this up and put the sound on.
Can't tolerate the. Oh! Whoa! What's that? Is that a spider or a dog?
Pulaku. The Bajoran moons are full of them.
Oh, I suppose you used to make them your pets and
we ate 'em.
sing songs about them around the campfire.
No, we used to eat them.
There it is.
So, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is so out of character for Star Trek.
Yeah, well, and then
I like it.
Jadzia being like,
I know,
spider
Jadzia is
dog.
a totally different person in the scene. This episode feels like it was written by people who aren't super familiar with the characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in several different ways.
Right.
Yeah. But I do love seeing this ship from the Bajoran Resistance and it barely works and they have to figure it out and they can barely see out and it's fun. It's fun stuff.
This feels very first drafty. It could have been really good.
It just doesn't quite feel like the characters we've come to know.
It also is ultimately pointless, right? They don't really need to be doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, go back.
Go back? Okay.
Yeah. Pause. I think she's got a Doctor Who sonic
screwdriver. Let's see.
Yeah.
Getting stuck here eating palakus.
No, maybe not.
Yeah, she's reading it as if it's giving her information. Yeah. I do really like this subplot with the bad Bajoran military dude who's working for the Circle. This guy.
Yes. The guy from Wings.
That's the guy from fucking Wings.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. This is.
Oh my god, that is weird.
So we've got.
Is that him?
Nurse Ratched, Dracula, and the dude from Wings.
Wow. Nurse Ratchet's from One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest, right?
Yeah.
I've read that she's in that, but I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that was well-regarded performance. That was the world went
Oh, I mean, she's great.
Yeah.
She's so good. That's totally him, isn't it?
Absolutely. I forget his name.
I tried to watch Wings. I got through a
Chat,
season.
who's the guy from Wings that's in this episode?
You noticed that, Justin? I can't believe I didn't notice that, but he's unrecognizable.
Yeah, I just happen to have watched a lot of Wings.
I
don't
love
anything about
Frasier so much that I watched all of Cheers.
Sure, yeah.
Which was okay, but I love Frasier so much that I also tried to watch Wings.
You were young.
I'm young?
I watched Cheers because it was on and good. Then I watched Frasier because it was the spin-off from Cheers.
My parents did not like Cheers, so it just wasn't on in my house.
I live in New England, so it's that's our show.
And then Frasier, my mom also didn't like Frasier, so it was just never on, but I actually saw it as a kid and loved it and didn't know what it was. I remember watching this one specific episode where Niles is dying to tell Daphne that he's in love with her, which obviously is every episode for the first 5 years of the show. But I I'm like, what is this? I want to know if they get together or not. I wanted to know so bad. I didn't know what the show was, and I couldn't find it. I thought it was canceled.
Right.
And then years later, I got into Frasier, and I slowly realized that that's the show.
Yeah.
And then I saw that episode, and I was like, this is trippy. Like, I am getting closure on this thing that's bothered me for like 15, 20 years. It's crazy. I love Frasier. Frasier's
it's
one of my favorite shows.
It is like peak sitcom show, you know.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really hits all the numbers.
Yeah.
It's like the way like Mary Tyler Moore was like of its time, like this is like peak sitcom, ensemble sitcom, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, the writing was just so clever, and I love that it just like mocked pretension.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
God,
Well,
okay,
also-
so the guy from fucking Wings.
The guy from Wings. Right, so this is the guy who is actively working against them, but he is very much of the I'm just following orders.
The General Krim.
Right.
Which I remember his name because he's on our list from last week.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Last week being months ago.
And then he tried out for Picard, right?
He did?
There was some big role in Star Trek that he didn't get.
Oh, interesting. I don't remember that. If we talked about that, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But he's great in this role, and I forgot actually that he came back and was a big part of this episode.
Yeah.
And I love that he's just like he's a conservative military guy, but he does have a moral sense of right and wrong.
Right.
And, you know, he's not necessarily on our side, but he won't do us wrong. It's a good balance with him.
Yeah, and he's someone who it's a real shame that this wasn't the beginning of serialization of Deep Space Nine.
I know.
Because like this other guy, the dude from Wings, is just a bootlicker, sycophant, make Bajor great again. You know, he's gonna suck this guy's plans to their core. This guy, where is his line though? You know what I mean?
Totally, and it's really
he is
interesting.
just following orders, you know. But when would he not follow an order? Cisco's not following an order to fight back against these guys. He's not even Bajoran.
Yeah.
This guy is Bajoran and is following the orders, you know.
Yeah, totally.
So that I think would be an interesting exploration.
I agree. It's a shame that we didn't go into that. This is some great bad guy stuff with Kai Wynn and
is that an Orb of the Prophets they have behind them?
What's his name?
Dracula.
Space
Minister
Dracula.
Jarro.
Minister Jarro, yeah. Frank Langella. But the thing about all of this
That's what his name
Essa,
is.
Yeah, Essa Jarro.
Yeah. That's a very Star Wars name.
All of this dialogue, I feel like, could be from something else. Whereas the dialogue in the first two episodes was so, like, specifically Deep Space Nine. This is a little bit more generic, like, evil.
Yes.
But then look at this shot. I mean, look at the lighting on this. Is classic Star Trek.
Yeah.
Where, like, the lighting's just on the eyes. They did this in the original series all the time.
Yeah.
I love how he just walked into that. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then, they're scheming to have him take control and elect her.
Right, but they're also both clearly working their own angles.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, but it's a little. I mean, it's not totally like generic space opera stuff, but it's a little closer to that than the other two episodes were, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Where again, like I wanted more development of this story, and it just kind of felt like you barely get any.
Yeah.
This is the Return of the Jedi of these of this trilogy. There was 2 Empire Strikes Backs followed by a Return of the Jedi.
Well, I had told you last time that
and Palaku are Ewoks.
Ewoks that they eat.
Oh my god. Discount Christopher Lee. Oh man, Frank Langella is amazing.
He's a solid actor.
Your cat has never seen a digital screen before and she just tried to eat us. Well.
Meow.
That would not go down easy. Yeah.
So this episode,
the guy from Wings, I can't believe
the
it.
last episode was written by Peter Allen Field.
I was just gonna ask, like, who wrote what?
Peter Allen Fields. Part 2 was written by Peter Allen Fields.
Okay.
He's the guy who seems to have some background in law in the real world. And then he wrote the one with Dax being on trial for murder in the first season.
Right.
The duet, the one with the where they track down the guy who ran the camps.
Really great episode.
Really great episode. He wrote the one with TNG, Half a Life, where the guy has to kill himself because his society.
Right, that was a good one.
Yeah, so he's written like some really like good Star Trek episodes in TNG and Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
And he wrote the second episode of The Siege, which I think we both really liked because it had a great exploration of the dynamic. That's what the letdown here is that it's like...
Well, who wrote this one?
I don't know, some like random nobody who wrote Star Trek.
Do you mind looking it up?
I'll look it up, yeah.
I do love... Something I love about this scene...
I shouldn't say some random nobody. I mean, it's just... Sorry whoever wrote this, but... It wasn't as good as.
I love General Krim coming in here and like setting up shop, and then as soon as there's sabotage and he realizes that people are still here, look at his face.
You can let your engineers play with the machines. I'm sending out search parties.
He's just like, I have an enemy. Stoked about it. He's just like stoked. But he also, I think he would have been disappointed in Sisko if Sisko had left.
Yes.
Because I think he has like such a great understanding of what's happening on both sides, even though he doesn't know that that Jaro is leading the circle. He's got his hand on the pulse of Bajoran politics, even though he's a military general. It's really cool.
Yeah. I like it. It's
the guy from Wings is Steven Weber.
Oh, here's a great O'Brien blep. Oh yeah, this guy Michael Piller.
Michael Piller wrote this episode?
Yeah.
That's shocking.
So he wrote a bunch of stuff.
Michael Piller is probably the best writer to ever work on Star Trek.
Yeah.
I
said some random nobody, and
that's hilarious.
The opposite.
He's definitely written some stinkers, like Star Trek Insurrection, but he's written a lot of really great stuff. Insurrection's okay. There's some fun moments.
Oh yeah, he wrote the Emissary. He wrote the
pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the showrunner on TNG from season 3 forward.
He wrote Move Along Home.
He's my hero, man. But yeah, his I don't know, his idealism and his like morality are a big part of Star Trek.
Gotcha.
Like Michael Piller in specific.
Well, then that I can see, because that is a part of this. Like, that's why there's a big deal about the people making the choices to do the right thing, to stay, What this show, I think, could have been served by is more structure underneath it, or more justification. It does feel like a lot of like set pieces for the characters to have their development.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of...
It's like the opposite of too much techno babble for no reason.
Yeah, it's like too little political babble.
Yeah, exactly.
It needs more of that. Ala Moraine!
It's almost too much heart.
We have to watch this scene. This is the weirdest scene in the episode.
They talk about the
combat rations scene.
Combat rations, Chief. Couldn't you have replicated something a little more palatable?
You don't like combat rations?
A French onion soup would have really been nice.
Miracle of science, these are...
First of all, your station's under siege. How are you gonna pack in a French onion soup?
He's just saying it would have been nice.
I guess.
I don't know. Quark managed to lug around an entire suitcase of gold.
Formula of all the nutrients the body needs for 3 days. I love them.
Also,
wait, they've
been on siege for half an hour.
Lee Now is not a fan of combat rations, but like, there's like this deep dive into how combat rations work and how they're made all of a sudden.
It's pointless. This is like supposed to pass for character development,
right? And then they mention combat rations again. Like it comes back later in the episode. Something with Bashir and combat rations. It's like, what are we doing?
I don't know. Filler. I mean, they're just like hanging out.
I don't know. It's a little. But the thing is that I like it. I enjoy it. But again, it feels like different characters all of a sudden.
There is a great moment where Quark is in one of the tunnels and they're doing their banter like this, and then Quark says, is it just me, or does anyone else not find this funny? Something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not funny.
Yeah.
And I really like watching a scene that seems like awkward, forced banter that is not funny, and then one of the characters goes, this isn't funny.
Yeah. Amanda, you're gonna get timed out. Amanda's trying to get the dress and the wig controversy going again. It's the wig, man. It's not the fucking dress. Storing Odo in a... Yeah. I literally can't. I can't
But he stored her.
No!
She stored him in the press. She did store him in the press.
I know, but she should have put him in the wig. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's all in the past. I literally can't.
As soon as I get on the ship.
Okay.
She should have just swallowed him into her belly.
Yeah, there's so much of this generic character development.
It's just all... This is all heart.
No, Justin, no. do not remind Justin of the conflict. You can go rewatch that episode. I even made like a clip of that episode, or like an edited version.
You're in an elevator with Odo.
No,
he's about to turn into goo.
No,
do you swallow him?
I
store
will
him in your
end
stomach.
This stream.
Do you store him in your wig, or do you store him in your dress?
I will end this stream. Oh my god, I'm so tempted to just... I can't. No, I can't.
Oh, this is interesting. Rom
left Quark behind.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is... They don't often show Rom making, like, big fuck yous to his brother.
Besides trying to kill him in, like, the Grand Nagus episode in Season 1, which I always forget about, but I'm trying to hold it in my mind this time.
That's good. No,
he did
remember
try
that.
to kill him.
Yeah. Because then okay, that's a good way to put it. This is a call... Not a call.
Yeah.
This is a return to old school Season 1.
Rom is afraid of Quark, but if he thinks he has a way to kill him with no repercussions, he'll take it.
So what we learn here is Rom did not think that this was going to go well. Rom thought that they were going to leave and everyone on the ship was going to die.
Right. I do like Quark getting, screwed over and stuck behind. It's fun.
Because that's the thing is they play it real close to the line with Quark, and I do think that they have Quark cross the line in a way that should, by Starfleet standards, involve him being in jail or not being able to hang out with the crew.
We watched this already. What happened?
No, now they're going on another search.
No, we've seen this. I must have accidentally backed up. This is when they first arrived.
Maybe you're high.
I am high, but I'm pretty sure that's the problem. I actually went back and watched that Quark scene. I don't know what happened. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, we were here.
I forgot about the...
This is what you were just This is what you were just talking about.
I designed an incredible candy.
Okay, so the combat ration scene continued, and I accidentally clicked somewhere else in the episode somehow.
Because they don't just talk about combat rations here. They call out to the other people.
Or should I say chef?
Chef.
Well, I would have expected you of all people to appreciate the nutritional value of combat rations.
Actually, when I was in med school, I designed an incredible candy bar which was far superior in food value.
Am I the only one who doesn't think this is funny?
Nope. Me too.
I don't know how I missed this. I don't know what I did. Anyway, so first, there's so many things that are weird about this, but but I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
What else is weird is the look on the woman's face who's next to O'Brien. She's just like trying so hard to look like what he's saying is humorous.
Yeah.
Let's look at that again.
Actually, when I was
the background characters of Star Trek it's a fun dive.
Cisco to all units. You can thank Chief of Operations Miles O'Brien
for your repast this afternoon.
Oh, you haven't made any friends here, Chief. Or should I say chef?
Julian! Well, I would have expected
Watch her
you
face.
of all people to appreciate the nutritional value of combat rations.
There's just like that slight like right at the end of that. It's really well done. And I do love this detail that Bashir designed his own like combat ration candy bar in med school. I think that's great. The Starfleet dude, the background extra behind Bashir, looks so familiar, and I feel like I've seen him in something else.
Well, I think they do that on Deep Space Nine, where they do have some people coming through,
Yeah, maybe. They definitely did that on Next Generation, where there's a bunch of, like same...
recurring extras.
Yeah. This is just amazing. Just Odo...
What is this?
Leaning out of the wall.
What is it? What is he doing?
So is he, like...
Is he part of the wall?
So it's like he has shapeshifted into something that looks like a wall, and then is leaning out of himself?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, this is another example of like, did you watch a lot of Deep Space Nine before you wrote this? And he did. It's Miker Pillar.
Yeah, he wrote all of it.
Miker Pillar.
Miker Pillar.
He wrote the pilot.
Yeah. All right. We're moving out, and I like how they're all wearing plain clothes
because they're not on a Starfleet mission.
Right.
They have to be very clear.
Right.
What they're doing is this is very quickly they've become Maquis terrorists. Very quickly.
Yeah, that's interesting. Although, I mean, the Maquis are generally Bajoran, and they're fighting Bajorans.
Right. But so they've become a human terrorist group.
There's something
The Lady in the Barrel!
The Lady in the Barrel is amazing. And Bashir just, like, how long did it take for them to find this exact pose for Bashir to sit in?
Yes, I am.
It's so interesting, like, there's this thing in Starfleet where when you're on a mission, you just act like nothing's a problem. Like, I'm cool. Like, they don't act cool ever. They're always like kind of detached, but then when they're on missions, they're just like real chill. That wink is so good. Yeah, they all become different people when the stakes are high all of a sudden.
This is like watching them on their day off.
Yeah, but they're fighting for their lives on their day off.
That's
very
what we
strange.
do in Starfleet.
But I do like, I don't know, I when I was watching it this time, it felt forced to me.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't question it for a second, but as an adult, this whole episode felt just like a hair forced.
Yeah, and I do think that I would have liked this more had I just watched it the once and talked about it. I think by the third time through, it's like, okay, I am really seeing the seams here.
Well, that's unfair, though, because we don't watch all of them that many times.
Oh, I know, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
But also... Nope, someone's shaking the shuttle from the outside.
Yeah. Look at Kira's acting right here.
The shake acting?
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say, shake acting seems like one of the hardest things to do in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Initiating evasive maneuvers.
I'm reading the EM
And this
signature
is-
of an impulse engine.
This is interesting because they can't see, and so we don't get to really see much about what's happening either.
Right.
But I mean, those little shots are so cool with it, like the
Yeah.
where you get to see out of this tiny ship. I don't know. I like this stuff a lot.
Yeah, it's
I'm a sucker for space fights.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. This is better than when they're going through the whole rigmarole about getting the ships.
Yeah. But then they know they have to crash land, so they decide to go like down to the surface. And
Right.
I mean, the way that this plot all unravels with Kira and Jadzia getting to the capital to bring the truth about Minister Jaro and the Circle to the Assembly. I mean, it's really cool. Like it unfolds well.
Yeah, it just feels...
It holds together well.
It only exists in service to the Bajoran prophecy, I feel like. All of this is just to set it up so that Kira is on the planet, on Bajor, and Jadzia is with her dressed in the religious garb.
And they get found by her boyfriend.
Barial, who's
Yeah,
not her
Bennett
boyfriend
Barial.
yet, but who she had sexy naked dreams about.
Yeah.
And who he did as well, because he was a real creep.
Yeah. The prophets obviously want them together.
Yeah, do you have a dream about us banging? You do.
Yeah, it's a little creepier than I would like.
So
to
that's,
see, but-
I mean, and I do like the Jadzia and Kira interactions, but the whole subplot just feels like it exists for the sake of that, getting them to that scene. It doesn't feel as organic.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't flow out of whatever plan they have.
Right. If you think about it backwards, like what were they trying to do? Oh yeah, look at this background extra, like walking around with his phaser. It's amazing.
This guy's like forever saying like
let's make
right behind Cisco. It's right behind Cisco on that mission.
Those are the noises he's making. He's looking around.
I was practically a lieutenant commander. I was right behind Cisco.
Yeah.
Not O'Brien. Cisco miss.
Oh wait. Oh, he's got a bomb now.
He's got a time orb.
I just love this show. I mean,
Cisco
I love it.
hits nothing.
Are they gassing? They're just like making a distraction. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's fun to see them like on the station duking it out with other dudes.
Because here's the other thing: is it shows that like they don't have to kill invaders. They're using non-lethal.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they can always because they can use stun.
That is just really good Odo choreography. All right, here we go.
I'm a trash can.
I'm a tripwire.
Yeah, this is also really weird. Really weird.
Yeah. This feels so much like Star Wars Episode 1 all of a sudden.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You're right, it is pretty good.
Up a little.
Oh my god, you are the worst.
And even. There is one problem.
One? Guys flying those ships? Yeah. Used to be the guys flying these ships.
All right, I mean, we don't need to watch all of this. Let's skip forward a little bit.
I did make notes about
crash landing. This scene is interesting. How they tricked them.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't try it.
They tricked them in the holosuite.
Yeah, this is
Classic.
really great.
Classic. But yeah, I love how they lock the dude from Wings in here. They tell him what's actually going on, and he refuses to bring the information to the general.
Right.
So there's like this other level going on of political intrigue that we didn't know about.
Yeah,
like this stuff,
scheming.
I think. This feels at the level of the last 2 episodes to me.
I don't think it does it as well, but I do like that they have it.
They clipped his wings.
Yes.
Yeah, like this doesn't feel like filler. This feels like a really interesting way to drive plot.
Right.
Let's watch Wings, dude.
Once this evidence is presented, the coup will end. We don't want to fight you or hurt anyone.
Yeah. The Bajoran General and the Toady is a good storyline, according to my notes.
I hope they won't mind Starfleet combat rations.
Yeah, combat rations.
Oh my god. That's like the 3rd mention of combat rations.
My next comment. And of course, O'Brien loves combat
What the hell's
rations.
going on?
It's the height of practicality. With zero joy.
Yeah, so he like gets up to ops and immediately lies.
I also wrote down, the coup keeps the lights dim to let you know that they're evil. Right?
I mean, they cut the power, right?
But why? Like, they're working and they've cut where they are.
Yeah, cutting the power doesn't necessarily mean something that makes sense on Star Trek. Cutting the power means that we have no lights, but everything else works.
Right. I also wrote
Alright, so Kira gets really hurt in that crash.
Right.
She tries to get Jadzia to
take the
leave her
evidence.
behind.
Yep.
Yeah, this stuff also felt a little generic to me.
Yeah.
But I still really enjoy it. I don't know. And we're fighting the dudes.
Right.
Bareil saves them.
Sorry, you're still in your torn up clothes.
But they heal her wounds, and then we got Jadzia in the outfit.
Because that's from her prophet, her vision, her orb vision.
Oh yeah, Jadzia in the outfit. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. That's so true.
So that's why she's starting to. So then that is more like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to hook up with Bareil.
Yeah, I feel like this is just kind of playing out the stuff that we've already talked about.
Yeah, because it just this we haven't really.
Yeah, this
into.
I like.
This.
What is this blasphemy?
This is when Kira arrives.
Right, she's got proof that like
the Cardassians are behind Minister
Yeah.
Jarrow's attempt to take control of the government.
She's just explaining it.
And
Masahiro, what's up?
Of the provisional government of reason.
Wynn is the smart one here. Wynn is the smartest one.
Of me. I'm honored to be included, Major. But I have
My favorite part of this scene is that as soon as he is outed, he immediately is like, stays super calm. He's like, well, we should adjourn.
Yes.
Just so he can run away. I love it.
Yeah. Well, also I think that he thinks that he can maybe get out of this.
Yeah.
Like
This is a manifest pad from a Krasari vessel.
It bears the thumb scan of a Cardassian gull.
Hey,
who
what's up,
transferred
Super Peter?
weapons to that ship. Those weapons were taken by the Krasari to the Circle.
This coup will deliver Bajor back into the hands of its greatest enemies. Are you willing to live under Cardassian rule again?
I assure you there's nothing to these accusations.
I do remember you.
Then you should have no
Peter
objection
Griffin.
to an inspection of this manifest.
this is right there. Boom.
Yeah, she turns on him. I love it.
She pulls out a knife right now, and he goes, "Oh, well, okay then."
Because he didn't know about. Well, she didn't know about the Cardassians' involvement, and she
Right.
hates the Cardassians more than she wants power, which is interesting.
See, this is right. As soon as Wynn is like, "Let's look into it," he's like, "Okay, smell you later."
He's like, I fully support this investigation.
Really, Wynn and this is Kira's confused.
She's like, "Wait, did we win?"
Right. But also, Wynn helped them win.
Right.
Because if she had said, this is nonsense, like, her and Jarro could maybe have fought against that.
So, did the Circle know that they were being supplied by Cardassians? Did Jarro know they were being supplied by Cardassians?
You know, it's interesting because they don't...
I don't think he does.
They never address it, and I think that would be an interesting, thing to explore. Like, how much did he want to have this? Because I think definitely you could... There's nothing that he did that would preclude that from happening. They don't say conclusively one way or the other, so I think you could see it however you want.
I don't think he knows because it wouldn't be in his best interest for Cardassians to rule again. But the Cardassians, like, working through an intermediary to try to worm their way back in, is actually, like, that's actually what's happening here, and that's, like, kind of a cool, like, scary thing that is avoided, but really interesting, like, because it just adds all this texture to all the conversations you had with Gul Dukat because he's always telling them like, "Oh, I had no idea. Like, we didn't know there were Bajoran prisoners. Like, none of that was supposed to be happening." But it does seem that the Cardassian government is trying to take control of Bajor again.
Yeah, probably. So, you know, in some of those cases, Gul Dukat's lying, and these are all just operations.
I think he's always lying. Yeah, I think he's just like always lying.
But also, I think that Cardassia strikes me as a place where rogue groups can just go try and do what they want to do.
Maybe
just like Starfleet. The people we follow as heroes ignore rules all the time to achieve other ends.
Right, and
Cardassia probably has the
so many
thing.
episodes where somebody does something against.
Wouldn't that be a great show?
What they're supposed to do.
It's an all Cardassian show where it's the anti-heroes who are working. They're disobeying the government rules, but they're just doing worse things.
Oh, that would be a great show. I'd love to see a whole show from like an opposing or like a Starfleet enemy perspective.
Yeah.
Like a show on Romulus.
Yeah,
would be so cool.
They
like
tried to do that with Discovery and Klingons, and I don't think they handled it well.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so everything's out in the open. Starfleet's back and control of Deep Space Nine.
Interesting. It's a non-violent solution. To a big, complicated violence being raised.
I know, and I love that. Yeah, I love that.
This I don't like.
I know. This is the thing. Ah, my hand.
Oh, okay, let's beam Lean Alice down to the sick bay.
Right.
Oh no, he shot you with the super phaser. I know it didn't tear your clothes or anything, but it definitely just...
After all. I do love this, though. Like, for his character and his, like, the acting choices, like, I just love this character so much. And knowing that he didn't want to be a figurehead and the depth to which they explored that in the other two episodes, like, you jump forward to this moment and you have another, like, moment that feels deep. And like, powerful in the way that's exploring this guy's character.
Right.
It's just so upsetting that this is his last moment.
Yeah.
You know, it really makes you feel that
again,
loss.
It also feels forced, like Wings guy suddenly out of the nowhere is he's like homicidal.
Yeah, I gotta kill Lean Alice, but why? I don't know.
No, he's trying to kill Cisco.
Oh, you're right. He is trying to kill Cisco, and then Lean Alice jumps on it.
Right.
Yeah, that just happened.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember that from when it happened seconds ago.
I've seen it 3 times now, 4. So.
Yeah, it is.
It's again. It's
frustrating.
It's my
ongoing... It reminds me so much of the end of Duet, where that drunk Bajoran kills the Cardassian on his way out the door.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, like we didn't need that.
It's exactly the same in the sense where they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy's super dead." Oh, what about all the technology we have that like literally regrows limbs and brings people back to life?
Right.
Now it's a shame. Look at him. He's just like.
Well, the power's off. We have no lights and no medical supplies, but everything else works. You feel like the Federation, if the Federation resorted to force more, they'd have less problems. I don't know. I really like how little the Federation resorts to force. Like, I really like that. That's one of my favorite parts of Star Trek is like talking your way out of problems. I love that about the show.
Yeah, and I don't think the Starfleet is facing problems where you would go, you know what? If they had dealt with this with more force, it would have turned out better.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And you know why? Because this is a fictional universe, and the people writing it, that's the point of view.
Their point of view is that force is bad.
Yeah.
The way he's patting Cisco's hand is so good.
Yeah. Still, yeah.
But this just feels like such a waste of a great character and a great performance.
What did he die of? Broken heart.
Emperor Palpatine put his life force into Darth Vader.
They don't even give us the courtesy of explaining what's going on. He got shot, they run over, and they just like hold his hand while he dies.
Right, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
It's that Star Trek inconsistency of like the technology does what they need it to do in the moment.
Or not. Or doesn't do what they don't want it to do in the moment.
Yeah. And this is an interesting wrapping up of the themes surrounding Lean Alice. Like, Kira's all upset about it.
There are heroes all over Bajor. I'm sitting with one.
I'm sorry, I don't feel like celebrating tonight, excuse me.
Lean Alice, another story, the Bajorans are just like, let's super believe in this.
Yeah.
So can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you really not like my combat rations?
I'm listening to Kira talk about all he was, all he did, all he was gonna do. She makes him sound like he was larger than life. Like he was some kind of...
Yeah, he's calling her out. on what you're talking about.
Chief, Lee Nullis was the hero of the Bajoran.
And this is interesting that
There'll be no questioning.
doubling down on this.
People died for their freedom. That's how the history books on Bajor will be written. And that's how I'll remember him when anybody asks.
So if there's an inquiry. And O'Brien takes this as an order to feel about this and talk about this a certain way.
I agree. Yeah, it's
but
really,
I don't think
it's
it is. I mean, I think Sisko is just trying to strongly make his point.
Well, it's like when they were doing that trial about Dax, is like, this is what we're trying to prove. Now go find the proof.
Right.
Go find it that it says that. He's like, well, what if it says something else? Find that it says that. Like Sisko's binary thinking. As a commander, which I think makes him not as good of a commander as someone like
I like it because he doesn't have this like false objectivity. You know, he comes from a biased standpoint on some of these things and, you know, pushes for that, but he comes at it from a well-reasoned character's point of view.
Yeah, I'm putting us back into the computer.
Back into the computer.
All right, well, we made it through the episode. I mean, I do really like this episode. But it's not. I mean, it's not my favorite. Let's rate it. Okay. All right, chat. I've got this.
Let's check and see if I has any other points. Oh, there's a rule of acquisition in this one.
Oh, there is.
Never make fun of a Ferengi's mother.
He's a war captain. All right, chat. There is a link to a straw poll for you guys to rate this episode. And Douglas Gale, what do you give it?
Probably like a 6.
A 6.
Maybe a 6.5 because there is good stuff in here, but. Yeah, some of that may be, I don't know, this is a tough one because, again, I overwatched it. It's in the shadow of a much stronger episode, an episode that I, really liked, so that might be affecting it. But there's some good stuff. There's, Nurse Ratched and Count Dracula. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
the guy from Wings.
In a lot of ways, it is a good conclusion to this 3-part story that I really like the 3-part story, and I feel like that raises it up for me, but at the same time it's like slightly disappointing and weirdly paced compared to the other two. But if the other two didn't exist, I think I'd like this episode more. So it's like a weird conflict in me about like how good this one is. There's some fun character moments, but they don't feel quite right for the characters that we've come to know. There's some good political intrigue, but not quite enough of it. It feels like there should have been more. I don't know.
This is. I keep saying it. This was too much heart and not enough other stuff.
Yeah.
And heart is great, and heart is one of the things we love about Star Trek. But
the balance is off.
Yeah, it just can't. Just like it can't just be all science.
I think this is the first time ever where I'm in agreement with you, and I'm going to give this a 6.5 also.
Right.
I don't think we've ever. Let's look. Have we ever voted the same?
We might have, because there's probably some like strong like 8s or.
Wow, what got a 4 and a 2.5? Progress.
That was the one where the good thing about it was them trading up.
Right.
But
we have never agreed on the number ever.
So we agree, and it's
look, Ibudan's clone, Benjamin Jodo. There's some fun things on this list. Jumja O'Neila. Okay, chat. What does chat give this episode? Let's see. View results. Oh wow. Okay. We got 3 7s, 2 6s, and a 9. Doug's doing the math.
Oh, Jesus.
What does that give us?
42.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 votes.
7.
A 7. Chat says 7. Cool.
Chat, you're so much nicer than we are. So generous.
You're like half a point nicer than we are. Okay, and who do we want to nominate for favorite character?
Also, this is like the most votes we've had in.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. This has been the best Doug Space 9 in months. We love doing this. It hasn't been happening because of like my health issues and then our scheduling issues, but we're both really committed to it. And
I'm a busy boy.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys being here with an unannounced episode today. This audience is amazing today. You guys are awesome. I've also decided I haven't even announced this yet on my podcast, but I'm changing the name of my podcast to Space Nerds.
You did mention it earlier, and you didn't even realize it.
I know. I realized it.
Oh, you did?
It's
Okay.
okay.
I didn't call you out.
It's okay. But yeah, it's going to be called Space Nerds, and there will be a group of Space Nerds who will be regular guests. Doug is one of them. And I'm going to start... I haven't even told you this yet, but I'm going to start putting Doug Space 9 on the podcast feed. So if you want to relive this... because we've been talking about making it a podcast for a while, but like I feel like under the Space Nerds umbrella, this fits perfectly.
So like if you like this, but you know the stress of being here on time for it.
If you like how it sounds, but you hate how it looks,
which is
I have a
understandable.
solution for you.
I hate how it looks.
Or if you want to relive them auditorially, I'm gonna at least try it with the first episode and see how it goes. Yeah, because it'll also just be like more content for the podcast feed. So why not?
This has been Meta Mercury.
Oh, and there's a new podcast out today of Doug and I talking about Star Wars. We were supposed to be talking about Arrow, and we got sidetracked for a full 45 minutes, and it turned into a whole third podcast. So that came out today. There's a description or a link in the description of this stream. Anyway, long story short, you guys are rad. Thank you so much for being here. This is so much fun. We love it.
We gotta make him a poll.
Yeah, we're making you a poll right now. Favorite character? Wings guy.
Wings guy. Yep.
General Krim. O'Brien. Cisco. Odo.
Kira.
Dax.
This is. I mean,
Kira. A lot of people have good moments in this.
Credit to this. This is like everyone got a turn, even if it was a small one.
A credit to this episode. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Right, but also like it still felt slow, even though everybody was doing something.
Vedic Bareil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. For me, it didn't feel slow. It just felt oddly paced.
Yeah.
Jaro, Minister Jaro.
Kai Wynn.
I think that's good for our favorite character poll. Allow multiple options. We don't want to do that. Create poll. Okay. Nog. Shit, I didn't get Nog. There's a write-in vote for Nog. That's one for Nog. Who do you think for favorite character in this episode?
Kai Wynn.
Kai Wynn, interesting. Because of her turn at the end?
I love it.
I love it too.
And this is one where now the fourth rewatch of that scene, it's so well structured. Kira comes in with the evidence, and then Wynn right away does this. Like, she crouches into a fighting position immediately. Like, there's a threat. I gotta pay fucking attention right now. And Jaro is basically like, whatever, you know. He is super confident, super cocky.
Yeah.
Part of it, I think, is his arrogance. Part of it is, I think, that he might not know this could lend justification. He doesn't know that the Cardassians behind it.
Yeah.
So, like, what evidence do you have? Like, I'm in charge. Everyone knows that I want to, like, kick all the non-Bajorans off of Bajor. They know that I'm doing all these things.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Totally.
Yeah. And so then... And then and just her character, Kai Wynn's character in that scene of immediately putting the knife in the dude who she was ready to, like, I think, jump on his dick and, you know, be the evil ruler of Bajor with.
Right.
And
have hot sex while she's doing it.
Hot sex. And was being somewhat acquiescent to him. She was recognizing him as the person who had the power to make this happen. And now all of a sudden she's like,
Yeah, I love it. I do love it. It's so good. I'm going to give my favorite... We fucked up the poll because my favorite character is not on the list.
Is it?
It's Lee Nallis. We forgot fucking Lee Nallis. My favorite character in this episode is definitely Lee Nallis.
So that's a write-in vote for...
Yeah, if you want to vote for Lee Nallis, let me know in the chat right now. Otherwise, forever hold your peace.
This is...
But it looks like Wings Guy is going to win by a landslide.
If it doesn't, I will change my vote to Wings Guy.
Yeah, Wings Guy. Wings Guy is Chat's favorite character, and not because of anything in the show, but because it's Chat, and it was the best option. That's why. Okay, let's look at best performance.
That's a good Chat.
I know our Chat is the best Chat. Okay, what am I doing? Best performance. Favorite best performance.
Was he also on Ally McBeal, Wings Guy?
I don't know, but I've been watching Supergirl.
Oh, right.
And
so
Calista Flockhart's on there.
Yeah.
I'm loving Supergirl so far.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 or 6 episodes in.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're 5 or 6 episodes in on the other ones as well?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Great so far.
Yeah.
Love it all. Also started watching Designated Survivor.
Yeah, it's on my queue, but
Fantastic.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah,
My parents are really into it, and they were just visiting, so they got me on it.
I'm gonna deep dive of genre fiction, so I haven't watched like basic thriller type stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I want to watch the Jim from The Office, Tom Clancy spy thing. But again, it's just like
look good.
But it's just thrillery stuff, so I'm not in a hurry.
Oh wait! We have 2 votes for Lee Nallis in the chat. Hey, Baysound, what's up, man? So Lee Nallis is now tied with Wings Guy.
Good, I'll change my vote to Wings Guy.
Or we make like a Wings Nallis.
Wings Nallis.
That's what we normally do if there's a tie.
That's true.
Wings Nallis.
Wings Nallis.
That's not going to make sense in the future.
Yes, it will, because you'll go Wings, right? Of course.
Oh, the Wings Guy. Okay, best performance. I got Lee Nallis, Kai Wynn. Who else?
Frank Langella.
Cisco. Yeah, Jaro.
Who had good
Best
acting?
performance. Best performance.
We tip our hat here a little bit. Like, this is our short list.
Yeah. Watch that actor's lip sync battles for laughs. Wings Guy or Lee Nallis?
Probably Wings Guy.
Nog on the list for best performance.
Yeah.
Nog and Jake I do love in this episode.
Yeah. They didn't.
What
they
is
didn't have
their
that much.
what's their portmanteau couple name?
Jog.
I love Jog. That's good. That's perfect. Oh, John Krasinski. Yeah.
John Krasinski.
Lee's spirit merged with the Wings Guy after he killed him. Yeah, he killed him, and then his spirit went into
bound
his body,
together, yeah.
and they became Wings Nallis.
Oh yeah, because that guy, the Wings murderer, we don't. He just gets arrested, we presume, but we don't see him after he fires that gun.
Yeah. Okay. I think is that it for our best performance? Kai Wynn, Lee Nallis, Cisco, Jaro, Nog.
Yeah, I think that's pretty decent.
Like, was there any other like really standout performances?
Quark, maybe. I could see giving Quark some.
Give Quark some love. Okay.
I could see somebody wanting to perhaps.
Okay,
we
folks.
We didn't have a good joke answer for chat on that.
There's your last poll.
Do we always need a joke answer for chat?
No, because they'll always pick it. This is for accuracy. This is not for laughs. None of this is for entertainment. This is to settle the score about all Star Trek.
What I'm hearing is that I can play the metagame, as it were, by trying to play against the spreadsheet if I can steer chat into a certain direction.
Yeah, this show's canceled.
I solved the show.
You ended the show. Who's the best performance in this episode?
Oh, I kinda want to say Dracula again.
Frank Langella.
And I know did I get him for all 3? I think I did.
You did. That's funny.
Because he's so good, and it is rare, I think, for me to pick someone against Nurse Ratched.
Amanda wants to time me out now. Yeah.
Mute. Because I love Fletcher, Louise Fletcher.
Louise Fletcher, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's a great actor, and like Garrick, Louise Fletcher, and Dracula are like my 3 favorite actors in all of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, those are good.
So this is tough. It's tough, and I kind of partly I think I'm giving it to Frank because this is it.
Yeah.
The most.
This is the last time you can give Frank Langella.
He can never get higher than 3.
Yeah.
Of number of episodes where he was the best actor.
Yeah.
So I just want to give him all 3. You know.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. Yeah, this is a tough one. I might go with Lee Nallis again because just the pat on the hand as he's just his expression as he's been killed is like, oh, thank God. And it's like such a great moment. I don't know. It's such an interesting character choice. All across the board. I love that character. I'm just like devastated that he's not in more every time I watch this. I think he's George Richard Bamer, right?
Oh, don't know.
Is that my vote from before? Yeah, that's him.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm giving it back to George Richard Bamer, Lee Nallis. Best performance from chat is Nog. Awesome, I love it.
I forgot to send you the
Aaron Eisenberg.
The meme. Can I show it?
Send it to me. I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we did it. The Siege, at long last. It took us months, but we've finished that episode, and I'm very proud of us.
Sorry, chat. I'm doing a show-related thing.
You forgot to vote, but you were going to vote for Nog, right? So that works out.
Copper Sun?
Thanks for revealing my email address.
At yahoo.com.
Well, now I have to...
I could text it to you if you tell me your phone number.
I'll give you my social security number and you can wire it to me.
I can wire it to you. You give me your social security number. Oh, that's great. Yeah, but we both know that you would love it if people were messaging you.
Emailing me?
Emailing you.
They can email me at sci-fi@jessemercury.com. That's my public email. Doug should recite some of his Star Trek erotic fan fiction at some point.
Did I tell them about
and my
that?
old YouTube. Oh, wow, Amanda. Deep cuts.
Did she find it? Or
I've made that a secret at this point.
What?
I have an. It's not like a secret, but I have an old YouTube page. It's just like stuff has my real name in it, so I just
Oh, I see.
Try to make it unsearchable. Not because I don't want people to watch it, but because I don't want my stage name and my real name to be searchable together.
Gotcha. I don't even know your last name.
Yeah, great.
I mean, I see it sometimes, and I'm like, oh, right, that's right. Your last name isn't Mercury.
Yeah. You've known about that for a year. There's a couple of interesting things on that channel. My Android rock video that I did in college. A music video where we're, like, flying through space in my van.
I think my old YouTube stuff is all, like, stand-up things. Like stand-up things that I had to upload for one reason or another and then just never downloaded.
Yeah.
But see, that one is a case where it might have my real name attached to it, but I don't even remember like what my screen name was. For it, and I've never attached it to my Gmail. So like,
but isn't your real name Douglas Gale?
Yeah, but I mean, so I assume that you could find it if people search for that. But I also might have gone through and just made everything private.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The bathtub song, yeah. That song, that was like one of the first videos I made that got some views. I was like, the world is crazy. All right, this is a real journey. Why don't we just show it on screen? You still looking for it?
I am. I found it, and then I...
Is it on Instagram?
No, because I think I post them to Instagram after the show.
Well, that's a huge mistake. This file needs to be shared.
Oof. Forget it. Just hold it up to the screen.
Yeah, do it. Your real name isn't Super Hamster. That's unfortunate. Is your real name Wings Nalis? I can't see it. What does it say? We're like, wait, hold on. That's the delay. Let me go back to the other one. Hold on. I'm going to make it bigger so I can see it. How do I do this? Where's the right view? Right there. Okay. What does it say?
Oh, it doesn't pick up the text.
Oh, it's like reflecting the other screen that we're looking at. What does it say?
Okay, so it's Lee Nalis.
Just perform it for me.
Okay. When you forget to call in fake sick to work, but then remember they fired your ass last week. Off the hook. After all.
That's awesome. That's a good one.
Thank you.
I mean, you could email it to me now, and I could pull it up. I don't know. Go look for Doug Space 9 on Instagram. You'll find it.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Okay, last but not least, space mushrooms. How many space mushrooms do we give this episode?
This episode gets,
Don't forget.
0.
Nope.
1.
Nope.
What's the baseline?
Don't forget that Odo turns into a tripwire.
Oh, God. Oh, right. It's a 10.
And Odo also, like,
turns into
peeks out of a wall.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So 8, then. Not 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little more accepting of Odo's space magic than you are, but...
a tripwire?
A tripwire. That's rough.
Think boing.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's like an 8.
Yeah.
It's pretty high up there.
Thank you for remembering that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, unfortunately, we don't have time to do 2 episodes today.
No, but we did 2 hours, so that's...
Yeah, we did a ridiculous amount of time on one episode, which is insane. It was so much fun. I guess we're done.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Smell you later.
Yeah, I mean, I have to stop at 6, and that's in 3 minutes, so I guess we did a good job.
Yeah, no, that's all I need to talk about.
When can we do this again?
Next week?
Next week.
Yeah.
We can do another episode next week. Yeah, maybe we might try to do like 1 episode a week instead of 2 episodes every other week.
Or tomorrow, maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I can do tomorrow.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
We'll try for tomorrow.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much. Tell people about Sci-Fi number 124. Yes, my new podcast. It's in the description. With Doug, we talk about Star Wars stuff. And yeah, I'm really excited about my podcast recently because we're, like I said, we're changing the name, basically bringing in several people as co-hosts.
Right.
I actually recorded one of the best episodes I've ever recorded yesterday, and then my computer crashed and we lost it forever. But it was a good bonding moment for me and Alexandria, who's going to be our dystopian fiction space nerd. So
I'm sad that it's lost.
It was hard. It was rough. We talked about it after, and we're like, it was such a intense conversation that it's almost good because like we can reframe the content of that and like repeat it in a future episode and maybe not have it be
so intense.
Yeah. But we like. It was one of those conversations like where it was done, we're both like, wow, like what a conversation.
So when you release it, it will be, this is not the greatest podcast ever recorded, but it is a tribute to the
exactly.
greatest podcast ever recorded.
The greatest podcast in the world. All right, well, we love you guys. Thank you so much, especially to my mods, my patrons, my my channel members. You guys are amazing.
Shout out to Jesus Christ.
You guys are rock. We'll be back soon with more Doug Space 9. I'll be game streaming soon. Maybe even tomorrow if we don't Doug Space 9. So yeah. Lots of stuff happening on the channel. Love you guys. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
Smell you later, Space Nuts.
Doug Space 9. Doug Space 9. Whee! It's over. Hooray! Bye everybody. Bye Andy. Bye Talkie. Bye Matt. Bye Amanda. You guys rock. Love you. See you soon. Bye.